Juicy! God damn it, wait! Look, wait!
No police presence whatsoever. I mean, none.
And the lads that were bundling through, were they all locals, Ted? French lads, you would say?
They look like people of North African descent, Nick, and there was hundreds of them. They were the ones who attacked us after the game as well.
Hang on. What did you suffer after the game then, Ted?
Well, we were going to leave about 60 minutes because what had happened before the game, Nick, the game, just Champions League final, it just became irrelevant. I had no interest whether we won or lost that game. Right. Just concentrating on getting back safely. And it was about a 400-yard walk or push for myself to get back to the metro. When we went under this underpass, there was police there, a lot of police there, but then we had a 300 walk to the La Plaza, the overground station. As we were walking down, there must have been about 200 of these huge just ran down the side of us making these noises I've never heard before. My wife actually said it was something like out of that film Zulu. They were running into the crowd, just robbing people, bottling us. Then when we actually got to the station and we thought we were safe, that's where we seen the police. They then started tear gas and pepper spraying Liverpool supporters who were looking for safety.
Accept that.
Did you see any Liverpool fans trying to get in with fake tickets?
Look, I didn't, and I can only speak from personal experience. I've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of locals jumping the fences, scaling the walls to get in. Where I was, there was about 6 or 7. There were local fans who were standing there who didn't have tickets.
What do you think about the narrative at the moment to people crossing the channel? How do you think that we should be tackling the small boats crisis?
It's quite simple. Refugees welcome.
Hello, I'm here in Liverpool city centre on this chilly Thursday afternoon. Not as cold as yesterday, but I've got 4 layers on today. Only had 3 yesterday, it was freezing. The screenshots, the videos, many have seen before. It was Liverpool FC playing Real Madrid in a suburb outside of Paris, Saint-Denis, where Scousers were ambushed, beaten and robbed by a culture that doesn't fit in, doesn't want to assimilate, wants to dominate. That same culture is here now in our city doing the same. It doesn't want to assimilate, it can't assimilate, it wants to dominate. Local politicians, Metro Mayor Steve Rotherham, West Derby MP Ian Byrne, that were at that game in Saint-Denis last May. Not once did they mention who was responsible for the beatings and robberies. They just referred to them as locals. Okay, sir. They just referred to them as locals. There could be nothing local about them. And instead of Steve Rotherham and Ian Byrne, MP for West Derby, who's promoted way above his ability, that's another video in itself. Instead of them saying what happened that day at that stadium was a consequence of mass immigration, got out of control, and we need to now start curbing it here before we end up having suburbs and districts like Saint-Denis. They didn't. They ignored it, said it was just locals. They said it was locals. That was the word they used. I've left some videos, some screenshots. It was only a Kevin Morris, Liverpool Disabled Association. He was the only guy that had the decency, the courage, the guts to say they were North Africans, and rightly so. That's what they were. Everyone else just ignored the fact who they were. They just put it down to locals. But my point being is Liverpool fans that day had a rude awakening to what real multiculturalism and diversity and what different cultures are like that don't fit in. It's a culture that doesn't want to assimilate, wants to dominate. And politicians here should have took notice of what happened that terrible day at the stadium in Saint Denis, but they didn't. They just ignored it, they just pretend it's locals, they just pretend everything here will be hunky-dory, and the different cultures will just be dumped into our city and nothing will happen. Well, I'm not so worried about, but nothing can be further from the truth, because them type of cultures, they're going to change our culture. They're going to take our Liverpool away from us, like they've took Saint Denis away from Paris in France. Okay, thank you.